TV yìí mo fẹ́ máa wò, ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ tí ń gbèsè mo fẹ́ gbọ́, ètò lóríṣiríṣi wọ́n wà lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan, ìròyìn tó kojú òṣùwọ̀n àtàwọn ọ̀rọ̀ àgbọ́ fi kọ́gbọ́n, eré wọlé fún tẹ̀rù tọmọ tèwe tàgbà ẹ má fi para. Orire TV mo fẹ́ máa wò, ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ tí ń gbèsè mo fẹ́ gbọ́, ètò lóríṣiríṣi wọ́n wà lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan, ìròyìn tó kojú òṣùwọ̀n àtàwọn ọ̀rọ̀ àgbọ́ fi kọ́gbọ́n, eré wọlé fún tẹ̀rù tọmọ tèwe tàgbà ẹ má fi para. Àjànà kó kọjá mo rí nǹkan fèrè, bàbá rere káwí parí. BGI TV, we are the pace setter. Bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀ tẹlifíṣọ̀n station tí dòde.
Kí gbogbo ojú tó ń wò mí káàkiri ayé, mo kí wa lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin lọ́mọdé lágbà nínú ilé yìí, mo kí wa wípé a kú dédé àsìkò yìí o, àsìkò bójú ọjọ́ ti rí, a kú bó ṣe ń lọ ní Nàìjíríà, a kú rọ́jú lágbára Ọlọ́run ó fẹ́ dáná. Èmi nígbàgbọ́ kó máa tó dáa, jẹ́ ń gẹ fìlà mi dáadáa bí tọmọ Yorùbá. Ẹ bá wò lé ṣó ti dá báyìí. Mo fẹ́ jọmọ Yorùbá dáadáa ni o. Mo fẹ́ máa fọ́ àwọn tínú ń bí, mo fẹ́ máa fọ́ wọn lórí. Gbogbo wọn ò lè sùn ká dojú kọbì kan náà, kò possible. Ẹ gbọ́, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ kórìíra mi náà lẹ padà nífẹ̀ẹ́ mi tó bá yá. Torí àwọn kan wà bí nǹkan bẹ́ orí ọ̀tá mi ní bọ́n ṣe wà ẹ́ pé bàbá gbàgede ó yẹ kí wọ́n máa sọ̀rọ̀ Tinubu dáadáa náà. Mo kàn rẹ́rìn. Ẹ káàbọ̀ ẹ wá kan fìdílé tàbí kẹ́ fìdílé kan kẹ́ jájọ jẹ̀gbádùn ìta tó gbé wá. Ṣé gbàgbé pé ìfọ̀rọ̀jomitoro ọ̀rọ̀ náà la sì jọ wà, ìfikùnwékùn ìfúnkùnlókùn ìfọ̀rọ̀wéra wọn. Lórí tani, lórí ọmọ wa tọ́lọ ń gbé sípò, olóyè tọ́lọ ń sọdá láṣẹ Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, àwọn comment kan wà ń bí tí mi bá address, tí mi bá ní kí n fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ lónìí. Ọkàn mi sọ pé kí n má sọ sí, kí n má kà, mi bá kọ́kọ́ kà fún wa ná, kẹ́ẹ̀rí ibi tí ọpọlọ ọmọ Yorùbá mi gbà lọ, kẹ́ẹ̀rí ibi tí ọpọlọ ẹlòmíì tó sùn sí. Mbá kà, mo wọ́n bá sẹ́ndì ẹ̀ sí wọn ni, ó yẹ kí n sẹ́ndì ẹ̀sẹ̀ engineer pé kán post ẹ̀ jáde kí gbogbo ayé kà. Ń tọ́mọ Yorùbá gbà lérò lórí ọmọ Yorùbá ẹgbẹ́, bó ṣe ń ṣàdúrà kí Yorùbá ẹgbẹ́ òun fail, bó ṣe ń pọ́n òbí lé, kọ́mẹ́ǹtì bíi 5 kan mo rí ń bẹ̀. Àbáyáyére ṣe Tinubu òṣì tó dún kiri, Yorùbá nìyẹn o, ṣe òṣì tó dún kiri. Ó fẹ́ sọ fún mi pé Tinubu ó fẹ́ máa fi kọ̀píà good luck àwọn kí ló ń pè ètò Obi, ó fẹ́ máa fi kọ̀píà Obi is the best, everyone knows. Mo ní máa gbọ́ wèrè, máa gbọ́ ẹni tí làkàyè ẹ̀ ti dọ̀bálẹ̀. Yorùbá nìyẹn o. Ìkan tún sọ ìkílódé tó gbéjọba Fọ́ṣínbàjò, wáyé tó fi jẹ́ bàbá ọmọtí yẹn, wáyé tó fi jẹ́ bàbá amúgbó yẹn. Mo rẹ́rìn. Are you telling me that baba is not old enough? Ó lè ní àmọ́ ọba ní, ó sọ pé mọ́tò bullion fan ó ṣì mistakenly wọ̀dọ̀ òun lọ, ó lè ní, ó ṣe kiri kan. Now let me tell you, listen and listen good. Ṣé rí gbogbo tẹ́ ń wí yẹn? Òun kọ́ lọ̀rọ̀. Ìmáwẹ́sùn síra wa lẹ́sẹ̀ yẹn, òun kọ́ ni solution. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá fẹ́ gbọ́ solution, ẹ fi ìdílé nǹkan tàbí kẹ́ ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé, ẹ jẹ́ àjọ máa sọ. Ó yá, ẹ wá fi ti gbéyàwó ọ̀rọ̀. Gbogbo wa la mọ̀ mí dáadáa wípé mi ò lè dálẹ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, mi lè ever dálẹ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀mọ̀. Ẹnìkan pè mí ní àná, ó tún ti jí pè mí láàárọ̀ yìí. Tó bá yẹ pé gbà kan ni màá block ẹni yẹn, màá ṣépè fún, ṣùgbọ́n no. Máìdí mi sọ fún mi pé jẹ́ kí gbogbo wọn máa sọ tó ń sọ, opinion tí wọ́n ni wọ́n express. bí wọn náà ṣe express opinion ẹ̀. ṣe ráyé tá a wà yìí, we just need to get things right síwájú ká tó máa sọ̀rọ̀. èmi tí mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń fọwọ́ sọ̀yà Tinubu, tèmi yé mi o. ẹnìyẹn ní bàbá gbàgede òun gbà léni pé òun ti gbọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ bẹ̀tẹ̀ òun ò believe pé wọ́n ní Tinubu fún mi ní 50 million pé kí n máa fi campaign fóun. ó sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lọ́wọ́ kọ́ọ̀lù kan wọlé fún ẹni tí mò ń sọ US ni, US number ni, àbí òun ṣáà ní 01 ló ń bẹ̀rẹ̀, US number ni. wàhálà mo record conversation yẹn gbà tí mo ti gbọ́ pọ́nnu tí bàbá yẹn ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀, I have to press record. bóyá ó wá ti gẹ́ẹ̀tì pé mò ń record òun ọ̀ kó rò bẹ́ẹ̀, ó pa ó wá pè mí sórí WhatsApp. èèyàn kúkú dẹ̀ record WhatsApp tí tọ́nà bá tàn fún record èmi ò tí ì mọ̀. ó wá pè mí pé òun ní kọ̀lẹ́ kan ní kíríkan nítorí ẹ̀ ló ń ṣe pè mí sí WhatsApp padà àti pé òun máa ráyè sọ̀rọ̀ mi dáadáa mo lókè. The man said òun ti gbọ́ tipẹ́tipẹ́ láti March or April pé wọ́n fún mi ní Tinubu fún mi 50 million pé kí n lọ máa defend òun dẹ́ kí n lọ win àtàwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wá. ó lóun ò kọ́kọ́ believe pé torí bàbá gbàgede mọ̀ tóun mọ̀, the man is of a very good integrity. ó ní but all of a sudden ó lóun náà mọ̀, ó lọ́dẹ̀ sọ fóun pé má trust anybody, kò sẹ́ni tó wò lè change. ó lẹ́ni yẹn sọ pé òun máa fóun ní proof ibi tí mo ti gbowó tó fi transfer owó sí mi pé náà àkáǹtì mi NGO yẹn náà transfer 50 million sí. mo wá rẹ́rìn mo wá wòrà mi pé ọlọ́wọ́ àdúrà ńlá ni bàbá yìí ṣe fún mi láwọn lẹ́sùn yìí o. ọlọ́jọ́ torí ọlọ́jọ́ o bẹ́ẹ̀mi sẹ́ẹ̀dì 50 million lóòótọ́ o. Tinubu yagabaru yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ sí wọ́n lẹ́ fún mi 50 million ẹjọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀mi sẹ́ẹ̀dì ẹ o. kálímù dẹ̀ wàá mọ̀ rí ni o, bá lọ́ bá pé wọ́n ti pariwo pé fún mi 50 million yẹn dẹ̀ sẹ́ẹ̀dì ẹ̀ sí mi. ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì ó tún pè mí láàárọ̀ yìí again, the same person lórí the same WhatsApp. It was mo ń bọ̀ mi ìfẹ́ sọ pé ìfẹ́ parọ́ ni o 635 nọ́mbà yẹn rè mí ní fi hàn yìí torí mo ti promise ara mi pé mi ò ní gbé síta. n tó mọ̀ n tí ò mọ̀ tó ń sọ fún ló gbé jáde, and thank God pé kì í ṣe n tó publish, èmi fúnra mi tó parọ́ mọ́ ló sọ fún. tó bá tún dàárọ̀ ìlú tún ní kì í ṣe 50 million nìkan, ipe wọ́n ti promise mi ní trip pé kí n máa káàkiri gbogbo ọ̀dọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá káàkiri the whole world, bọ́n ti fún mi ní kan diplomatic passport. àwọn èèyàn rọrẹ́ omi gan o, bó ṣe máa rí mo claim ẹ̀ wà láì mo claim ẹ̀, bó ṣe máa rí fún mi náà ṣe ń sọ fún mi yẹn 50 million nù tí mo wà yìí màá gba 50 million báyìí ẹ̀ ní rí lára mi tó jẹ́ bùkátà kúnlẹ̀ tó ti lanú lẹ̀ báyìí bí gbà pé ọ̀ọ́ni lánú náà fẹ́ mi 50 million inú mi ò ní dùn. now ó ní wọ́n náà sọ pọ́n ti fún mi ní diplomatic passport pé kí n lè máa fi travel káàkiri kí n máa convince àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kiri the whole world. pé ó wá sọ wípé tẹ́ bá dé Amẹ́ríkà bàbá gbàgede wọ́n máa disgrace yín kúrò ń bẹ̀ ni o, torí mi gbọ́ sí pọ́n ti fún yín ní diplomatic passport tó ní kẹ́ bá fi káàkiri àwọn countries. tẹ́ bá dé US a máa disgrace yín kúrò níbẹ̀ ni o, aláìkí ń gan tẹ́lẹ̀ but ẹ̀yin náà ti gbà bọ̀dẹ̀ fílẹ̀ Yorùbá a máa disgrace yín, ara àwọn tán lémi tán coat nìyẹn. mo rẹ́rìn bó ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ mo rẹ́rìn gan. mi ì fún lésì lánàá mo ṣe wá fún lésì láàárọ̀ yìí, ẹ̀yin náà kú mẹ́tẹ́ ẹ ní. mo wá gbẹ́kẹ̀ ọ̀tún àti tòsì ẹ̀sà ó ní ẹ jù mí lọ́jọ́ orí sá àgbàlagbà níyàn o, but n tó ju yín ò bá tó ẹ̀yin máa sọ. mo lọ́dọ̀ gbogbo tẹ́ sọ mọ́ mi mo claim ẹ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Tinubu máa ṣe ìrírí lójú báyìí ìrírí tẹ́lẹ̀ mi dẹ̀ kí ẹ̀ láti rírí àmọ́ nísìnyí mo ti kí ẹ̀ láti rírí à ń tẹ́ Yorùbá ṣe tẹ́ bá parọ́ ẹ̀ mọ́yàn ó di dandan náà. mo ń fọlọ́n búra lórí program pé Tinubu tá a sọ mi ò fojú mi kàn rí láyé mi bí mo yẹ sọ yìí mo rí nínú TV bẹ́ẹ̀ pé Tinubu ló jókòó yìí o tèmi náà wá jókòó sí distance ibi tó wà àbó wà location o tèmi náà wá ń bẹ́ o àbó wà níbi kan tí mo rí physically o ní live láṣẹ inú TV àbí inú fóònù kò ṣe mí rí mi ò rí ẹni tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ rí ká bá sọ pé ókè ṣá kìí ṣe dandan kí n rí kó tó transfer owó bóyá ó transfer sí àkáǹtì tí mo ní lọ́rùn ni ẹjọ́ sàtáyé ní kẹ́ bá transfer sí o mo á sọ fún bàbá ìmọ̀nà ọgbẹ́ni ó ní ẹ̀ láyé yín ẹyẹ máa parọ́ tí ò bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń parọ́ sàtífíkẹ́tì kiri nìyẹn tẹ́ tójú tì yín bọ̀. This man was trying to compare Obi and Tinubu fún mi ara àwọn diehard Obi nìyẹn wọ́n pè wọ́n lóbi idiot àwọn Obi idiot nìyẹn obedient Obi idiot. Now fáfàní ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ṣe nírú ìgbàgbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́mìí ẹ jẹ́ ń já yín sí nǹkan kan tí ò yé yín ṣe eré advocator táwa dì èyí táwa ń pariwo kò ju wípé a ń gbìyànjú láti la Yorùbá lójú ń tá àmọ̀ tá a dìjú sí ègún ayérayé báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ kúrò lórí Yorùbá ó ní tó kan èmi. I don't even need to collect a dime from the man kí n tó máa pè wá sákìyèsí. I don't even need to know him at all before kí n tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa sọ̀rọ̀. I have an opportunity to talk káwọn èèyàn gbọ́ mi. I have a forum tí mo lè fi sọ̀rọ̀ táwọn èèyàn lè fi gbọ́ mi. Mo ní channel tí mo operate tí mo lè sọ̀rọ̀ táwọn èèyàn lè wò mí bẹ̀. Kí ló wá dé tí mi ò lọ as crusade láti porí ọmọ Yorùbá wálé kúrò níbi irọ́ àdápa àti irú àtọdúnmọdún tó ti pamọ́ wa àti táwa náà ń pamọ́ra wa 90% àwa tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ in favour of Tinubu lẹ́nu la hate ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ la jẹ́ stack ọ̀tá ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ why because wọ́n ti pààrọ̀ oríṣiríṣi fún gbogbo wa tá a ti gbà tá a ti jù sápò ẹ ó lè ní drọ́gbẹ̀ràn ní tẹ́kì nìkan ni ta ló mọ́ nínú gbogbo olóṣèlú ta ló máa fìdí ẹ̀rùn mú tídìí òní rùn. Ẹnìkan sọ pé the beautiful ones are not yet born ìwé literature kan ló jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ the beautiful ones are not yet born àfi tónítọ̀hún ò bá ti mú tí ò bá ti sáàfù ní public office rí àfi tí onítọ̀hún ò bá ti jẹ́ public office holder rí nídìí ò lè rùn. None of the whole politicians in Nigeria ló lè sọ 100% òun mọ́tò òun yán kọ̀ọ̀kan ẹ̀sà èṣù tá a mọ̀ ó mà sàn jángẹ́lì tá a mọ̀ lọ èṣù tá a mọ̀ ó sàn jángẹ́lì tá a mọ̀ lọ gbogbo wa ti rí Tinubu lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àrítú tó pa àmọ́ ń tó lè ṣe. I will tell you what you don't like to hear lẹ́nìí again wọ́n lè níbi tán ti ní àwọn arékò lára wọ́n lè jẹ́ policy wọ́n lè kíní kan but let me tell you what you people don't know. Ẹ wo tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ because kíní kan tó máa ń da economy rú nǹkan yóò sì lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ that is why the economy Èkó fi dáa wọ́n pè ní frequent changes in government. When you have frequent changes in government, you have frequent changes in policy. In Lagos State today, there is no frequent changes in government. There is always be successive government lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. From one person to the other, one bíi pé kéèyàn máa sá eré kó jẹ́ the same team ló ń pass betting síra wọn kí wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ní perfect betting exchange. Eré yẹn máa lọ ní in fact wọ́n mèrè sá wọn mèrè sá o àwọn kan lè sá wọ́n lè mèrè sá jù wọn lọ tí betting exchange wọn ò bá wà perfect àwọn tí wọ́n ní perfect betting exchange lè nà wọ́n èmi ti sáré rí àwọn tí wọ́n ní betting exchange tó dáa tó jẹ́ perfect one tí wọn ò ṣe mistake tó jẹ́ pé tó fẹ́ gba betting yẹn ti move ó ti kúrò ní check market ó ti ń lọ ẹni tó ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ tí mo gbà tó lè pe hand akọ̀ pé wọn akọ̀ náwó sẹ́yìn kò nídìí láti wẹ̀yìn akọ̀ náwó sẹ́yìn ni adẹ̀gbà bẹ́tì ó ń lọ tiẹ̀ nìyẹn. Àwọn tó bá ní perfectly bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin yẹn wọ́n lè nà ẹni tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo wọn náà mèrè sá anchor leg first leg second leg third leg gbogbo wọn náà mèrè sá àmọ́ their betting stage is wobble. Àwọn tó bá ní perfect betting stage wọ́n lè padà nà ẹni yẹn because ibi táwọn ti ń du káwọn gba betting tó ti ń jábọ́ lójú ẹgbẹ́ àwọn tí bí ti get out ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ Lagos State nìyẹn because since 1999 tí Tinubu ti mú ìjọba dání lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ they have been passing that betting from one leg to the other from one leg to the other policy tẹ̀léyìn bábú iléyà parí ẹ̀ àtúbẹ̀rẹ̀ míì ìtó tún máa gba betting lọ́wọ́ èèyàn náà àtúparí ẹ̀ àtúbẹ̀rẹ̀ míì kíní yẹn ran Èkó lọ́wọ́ débi wípé we have ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá mo fẹ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ló ní developmental project jù so far ìtí Tinubu bẹ̀rẹ̀ Fáṣọlá débẹ̀ ó parí ẹ̀tàn pápápá ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ tiẹ̀ rẹpẹtẹ lóríṣiríṣi gan tí gbogbo ayé rí after 8 years Fáṣọlá left ó gbé bẹ́tì fábọ́dé Àbọ̀dé náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ tiẹ̀ ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ tiẹ̀ ó parí tí Fáṣọlá ṣe ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ míì ó bá débì kan after 4 years ó pàṣẹ bẹ́tì yẹn fún Sanwó-Olú parí ìtàbọ̀dé ṣe Sanwó-Olú bẹ̀rẹ̀ tiẹ̀ ó ń gbé lọ́sìn for 8 years àwa ní kíní yẹn wá ń lọ bí shane lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yes mo gbà they are not perfect oríṣiríṣi ẹ wọ́n gbọ́jà wa wọ́n ní wá lára ń bí government policy a máa nìyàn lára ó possible but nítorí pé the same betting yẹn wá láti the same party ẹ wo bó ṣe ń pè wọn economy wọn ó grow ní pápápá business yẹn lọ déédé developmental project dẹ̀ wọlé infrastructural facilities wọ́n provide. Today Lagos is becoming small London we might take it or leave it. Kódà l'Abuja mi rò pé blue rail mi rò pé ó ṣiṣẹ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Who started it? Fáṣọlá. A lot of projects tí Fáṣọlá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó ti parí báyìí. Other state now compare sí other state tẹ́lẹ̀ ìmọ̀ adébẹ̀ o tó máa lọ́dún mẹ́jọ tó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ pọ́lísì kan tó máa ṣe débì kan wọ́n bá débì tí mi bá ti gbàjọba even kó ṣe the same party tó bá ti gba pọ́lísì wọ́n bá ti gbàjọba báyìí wọ́n káfùn tóun ṣe nìyẹn straight nígbà tí kò sí igi kan ṣoṣo tó ń so gbogbo wọn. Tinubu made himself igi kan ṣoṣo tó ń so gbogbo wọn and before you know it tí ò dá tẹ́fẹ̀ gbọ́ nìyẹn but ó ní advantage tiẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ ní disadvantages sí ẹ̀yìn kan but advantage yẹn lèmi sọ yìí advantage yẹn it has brought a lot of development to Lagos State téèyàn bá ní successive government ẹnìkan pass betting sẹ ẹnìkan ó dẹ̀ lẹ́nìkan tó ń control wọn tó bá ti ṣe mistake máa yọ ẹ́ dànù o yes sir ó ń bá tiẹ̀ lọ project ẹni bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni kò parí o ó yá kí wọn náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ tiẹ̀ ó parí ẹ̀ tán ṣé ẹ rí nǹkan parí yẹn ìyẹn ti kún nìyẹn nílùú ẹ máa bọ̀ láwọn other state ẹ jẹ́ àfisẹ́nu bẹ́ẹ̀ kàdákẹ́ ẹ máa bọ̀ láwọn other state gọ́fúnà mi ti lè máa bá 6 lane bọ̀ nígbà ilé ìbádé á dínkù sí 4 lanes ìgbò bá ti ẹ̀yà ló máa bàdún ẹ̀ tí ò ní ṣe mọ́ ìmí ilé ti máa bá project lákọ̀bọ̀ tó ti ná millions of naira fẹ̀já ní for example airport òun ti ń bá airport yẹn lọ o kọ́ dẹ̀ gbowó eléyìí tó débẹ̀ kó dẹ̀ gbowó kó parí airport nìyẹn bá máa sọ pé rárá ibi báyìí ní airport gbọ́dọ̀ wà òun tún fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ tóun oríṣiríṣiríṣiríṣi bẹ́ẹ̀ kò yé yín ẹjọ́ lówelówe là lúlo gidigbo bí ó ṣe rí nìyẹn. Now Tinubu gbé 50 billion fún mi ó dùn mí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tó wà lóyìnbó mọ̀ mí kálẹ̀ mọ̀ mí ni ẹ̀bà rí pangolo àjákù mọ́tò tí mo lò kiri Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kí n ní 50 million lákàùntì kí n máa lóru mọ́tò tí mo lò yẹn láyé mi. À ń gbébọ̀ láti ibì kan lánàá báyìí, àwa ń dúpẹ́ jímọ̀ ti fẹ́ tó, jímọ̀ ti fẹ́ tó, kádẹ̀ gba à ń tún aago ara ògiri kan ṣe, kádẹ̀ gba aago yẹn lọ́wọ́ ẹni yẹn báyìí, bá ṣe ń wàdé kọ́nà báyìí mo rí bread, ẹ̀jẹ̀ jára bread o, akíkì mọ́tò tí látọ̀gbé àti ra bread, apáàkì ní kádẹ̀ ṣínà ṣáká ṣínà mọ́tò lẹ́yìn tara bread tán làbá ṣínà nínú òtán. Pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run inú mọ́tò yẹn láti kí jímọ̀ lánàá, nígbà mẹkáníìkì ló ń bọ̀ tí ó sì á sì lè fi mọ́tò lẹ́ka máa lọ, kò ṣe lọ́ọ̀kì kò kíìkì kò ṣe kan mọ́, ó kàn dọ́wọ́ rú ni, pàǹgò jẹ́ pàǹgò lónìí. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kí n ní 50 million lákàùntì kí n máa lóru mọ́tò yẹn láyé mi, mi ní rírú ẹ̀ nígbà tí mi wáyé wá sí owó. So mi mọ Tinubu rí, Tinubu ò mọ̀ mi rí, kò rí mi rí, wà lè sọ o, wọ́n lè ti máa fún ní fídíò mi o pé kó wò, mi lè sọ o, ṣùgbọ́n mi ò gbóhùn ẹ̀rí báyìí pé aláwìyé ń kò mọ mi. Àwọn ọ̀sán gbé ẹ̀ kí wọ́n pe máyì MC Olúọmọ, I don't know him, mi ì mú anybody, èmi ń ṣe tèmi bọ́lọ́hun ṣe rán mi ni, mo fi channel mi pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ṣàkíyèsí ni, mi ní interest láti máa support anybody because of money. I am not doing it for that. Ọdún mi ìṣàrówó má gbé o, wọ́n bá fún mi lówó má gbà o, ṣùgbọ́n for now mi ìgbà kọ́bọ̀ lọ́wọ́ anybody. Ti ní lẹ́yìn tí mo sọ yìí tí ò bá tún wá tẹ́yìn lọ́rùn sà, ẹ̀yin náà ẹ lọ sọ̀rọ̀ kẹ lọ gba ti yín o, kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ẹ bá bọ̀ láti Amẹ́ríkà kẹ wá lọ Aso Rock kẹ lọ gba ti yín. Tinubu ń pín ni, ẹ̀yin náà ẹ lọ gba 50 million ti yín. Lẹ́yìn tí mo sọ ìtẹ́ẹ̀bà tó nígbàgbọ́ ń bẹ̀, so be it. Now fẹ́yìn tó jẹ́ pé òbí lẹ́ ń kọ sínú kọ́mẹ̀ntì mi kiri, ẹ ṣe ó dà bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìkan ń bè mí pé bàbá gbàgede, ṣé ìwọ lè ṣàdúrà kí Tinubu wá ṣe president Yorùbá nation? Kí ló dé? President ibo ló ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí? Ẹ ṣe nírònú báyìí ná, ẹ mọ̀ pátí wà Yorùbá nation ready báyìí. I don't you people know? You might not know, and I'm telling you that wípé a ti wà Yorùbá nation ready. Ẹ̀yin náà ẹ̀wẹ̀nu lẹ̀kẹ̀ ẹ̀wẹ̀nu ọkọ́ ni. Ta ló lórí sójà? Ìran wo ni? Ta ló lórí ọlọ́pàá? Ìran wo ni? Ta ló lórí custom? Ìran wo ni? Ẹ má jẹ́ ń bẹ́ kó, ẹ má jẹ́ fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀dẹ̀ láti Yorùbá nation. Kí nation wo lẹ wá? Ṣé yóò nation Fúlàní la wà? Àbí nation Ìgbò? Àti wà Yorùbá nation already. Ó lè má jẹ́ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ rè, àmọ́ kí ló máa kọ́ síwájú? Ikún ló máa kọ́ síwájú kẹlẹ̀bẹ̀. Ẹ mọ̀ ni ikún ló ti síwájú yìí, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá tako okun kẹlẹ̀bẹ̀ ò ní wá. Ó lè mi ṣe ń sọ fún yín gbogbo ìgbà pé ẹ panu mọ́ kú, ẹ kúrò lọ́dọ̀ Òbí, ẹ kúrò lọ́dọ̀ ìlú Àtíkù. Àlá tí ò lè ṣe láyé ni. Tinubu has come to stay, and stay he must. Ẹ tún kọ sí kọ́mẹ́ǹtì tí mo ṣe, ẹ tún lọ bá mi kọ sí. Ṣé mi lè fi Tinubu ṣe president Yorùbá nation? Why not? Ẹ ó lè ní bullion fan ló fi ń gbé owó, ìwọ náà lọ fi bullion fan gbé tiẹ̀. Wọ́n náà lọ fi bullion fan gbé tiẹ̀ náà. Ẹni tí tèmi ò bá tí múyàn lọ́rùn ọwọ́ báyìí kó jí mi ní nǹkan, it's not only lọ́dọ̀ tèmi. Mo dẹ̀ sọ fún gbogbo àwa Yorùbá pé gbogbo ń tà ń rò yẹn ìyẹn kọ́ ni tó kàn. Let us secure this man as our own Yorùbá man. Ntí mo sọ nìyẹn o, kó má wá yà wá lẹ́nu pé mo rí ìdáwọn nǹkan kan lára Tinubu is going to disappoint many of us. Believe you me, write it down today. I am putting it straight to you. Mo dẹ̀ fi dá wa lójú pé Tinubu regime is going to adjudge as the best regime. Bá ṣe adjudge regime Awólọ́wọ̀ as the best regime ní Yorùbá land. Ẹ kọ sílẹ̀ lẹ́nìí. Do you know why? Most of àwọn tá a pè ní ministers tí Tinubu kó mọ́ra, I studied every one of them. Even olè láàrin wọn, olè tójó lè ní táyé confam kò lè ní. As soon as tó ti gbaṣẹ́ lọ́dà Tinubu ló ti mọ owó ẹni tóun ti gbaṣẹ́, ló ti mọ̀ pé bóun bá jalè bí eléyìí ọ̀rọ̀ lòun dá, lòun náà ti súnrakì. Ẹ wo David Umahi. David Umahi is now presently the Minister for Works. Mo gbé fídíò kan wá ní bí 3 weeks ago níbi tí máa yẹn ti challenge ẹnìkan lórí ọ̀rọ̀ contract 10 naira tí yẹn sọ di contract tó sọ di 800 naira mọ́rẹ́ lọ́wọ́. Umahi ní sórí 10 naira tó ti gbà tẹ́lẹ̀ yẹn ní the last ojú òtí ẹ̀ náà wọ́n gbé títì fún ẹ, ìwọ náà wo títì yẹn. Mínísítà mélòó ló challenge contractor tẹ́lẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀? The same Umahi has come out again lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ṣẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fúnjọba yẹn ní ààyè at least ẹ ti ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan lò 2 years ká tó máa judge ẹ̀. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tí ò bá rí bí mo ṣe ń rí, ìrọ́lẹ̀ ń pa pé Yorùbá nìyẹn o, ìrọ́lẹ̀ ń pa pé yìí jà fún Yorùbá nation, you are a liar. Torí ẹ̀ mo yẹn sọ fún ìlànà pé ẹni kó lè sáré ó ti sáré, ẹni kó jutọwọ́ ẹ̀ lé ojútọwọ́ ẹ̀ lẹ̀ kílẹ̀ tún fẹ́. Èké ni gbogbo yín, ẹ fẹ́ kí Yorùbá nation wáyé. If you want it, you will acknowledge it when you see it. Tó bá jẹ́ lóòótọ́ lẹ fẹ́ Yorùbá nation, as soon as you see it now, you supposed to acknowledge it. It has come and it has come to stay. Ó lè má jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ rè, bẹ́ẹ̀ tí irú eléyìí ló kọ́kọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ síwájú kẹ́ ẹ tó lè máa sọ permanent one tí Fúlàní ò ní wá gbà kó mọ̀. Some were asking me after 8 years of Tinubu, what next? Ṣebí Fúlàní will go back. Says who? What about after that 8 years tí Yorùbá bá ti declare nǹkan? Or do you think it's not possible? Bẹ̀tí bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti fẹnu bà gbogbo nǹkan jẹ́ nítorí ẹyẹ Òbí tẹ́ǹtẹ́lẹ̀ àbí nítorí Àtíkú tẹ́ǹtẹ́lẹ̀ kiri tí ó jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ ríran, ó ti ẹ̀yà mí lẹ́nu and I'm highly disappointed. Ẹjọ́ Ìgbò mélòó lẹ́rí tó support Tinubu? Ìgbò mélòó? Ẹ dárúkọ Ìgbò ọ̀hún mélòó nínú wọn? Nínú 100 bóyá lè rẹ̀jọ ẹyọ kan àbẹ́yọ méjì. Nínú àwọn Fúlàní bóyá lè rẹ́yọ kan àbẹ́yọ méjì. Nínú àwọn Haúsá ìyẹn la lè rí bí 10%. Yorùbá àwa rí bí 60% Yorùbá tó support Òbí. Ṣé rí pé failure ni Yorùbá bá bọ̀? A rí bí 40% Yorùbá tó support Àtíkù. Àwa rí bí 10% tó support Yorùbá ẹgbẹ́ tí í ṣe Tinubu. Àwọn kan sọ fún mi pé má pè Tinubu lọ́mọ ìyá mi, ọmọ ìyá táwa ni, ṣé Ìgbò ni àbòjá Haúsá? Tinubu is not kẹ́jọ́ ọmọ ìyá tèmi o. Bàbá Gáyédé wọ́n kọ́ sí kọ́mẹ́ǹtì mò ń kà mú kan rẹ́rìn lánàá ni. Má pè Tinubu lọ́mọ ìyá tèmi o, ó lè kí í ṣe ọmọ ìyá mi, kí ló jí yín mà? Ẹ̀sọ́ tó jí yín kí n gbọ́ pa, ó jí mi ní nǹkan báyìí, kí ló jí yín? Ẹ̀sọ́ tó ti jí yín kárí. I will support him till he leave office in that after 8 years. If he has never left, I will continue supporting him even if I don't know him. Do you know why? Because Yorùbá nation nìyẹn. That is why tó fi jẹ́ pé ó yẹ ká rò dáadáa ká tó máa ṣe. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nídìí láti jókòó ká rorí wa, ká dìde níbi tá a sùn sí. He is the first indigenous Yoruba man tó wà democratically elected so far tẹ́mi mọ̀ o, so far to the best of my knowledge. If I should go by the information tẹ́ gbé kiri that Ọbásanjọ́ is not a Yoruba man. Tẹ́lẹ̀ ìbádẹ́ ṣe tó ń ṣe yìí tó ń wo sáìdì yín kílẹ̀ tó fẹ́. All what we need to do is to be patient with him. The man has not even spent up to 7 months, no, not up to 8 months, not up to 1 year. May till date, May end pàápàá, May end. So June gangan la ṣe lè kápó bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́. June, July, August, September, October, 5 months. Láti ń pariwo. láti ń bá wọn dìtẹ̀ káàkiri tó bá lo 5 years nǹkan kí lè fẹ́ sọ. And with the crops of àwọn tó ní tí mò ń wò yìí, I believe a padà máa jásèbùtì ayọ̀, a máa padà kọrin ayọ̀ ni lágbára Ọlọ́run. David Umahi máa yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀kùn, ẹja gbọ́ nǹkan tó sọ.
Write-ups, all kind of stuff against the new policies of the Ministry of Works. I just read one yesterday when they say, if you do concrete road, cement will go to 9,000. And the people that were used to sponsor it are actually the Cement Traders Association, which is a very good one. There have been other branches. Both the staff and the contractors have been talking to all kinds of big men in the country. Some even I read where they said, I'm selecting some certificates of big men and paying. I want to say publicly that there is no outer of truth in any of such. I'm not delaying anybody's payment unduly. And so it is very important that I make, the policies of Federal Ministry of Works very, very clear. Number one is we put God first in whatever thing we are doing. And God here represents the people. The people. The people. And I received instruction also from Mr. President. This is my line of instructions. And then, of course, from the ministry, from big men, and so on and so forth. But these are the lines of my protocol in terms of who instructs me. Meaning that if there are decisions I take, God Almighty or Mr. President can cancel it. I am not on my own. I say this so that if you want to blackmail me or you want to report me, you should know the proper avenue to report me. Don't waste your time reporting me to any other persons other than God Almighty and Mr. President. But one thing is very clear. If I'm doing anything for my own benefit, whatever thing I'm doing will fail. But if I'm doing it for the benefit of the people, no matter the amount of blackmail, no matter the amount of fight, the will of God will always prevail. I traveled to Southwest. I'm not totally unhappy with the ongoing projects there and the supervision. I gave them 80% pass mark, but not without my reservation about how long these projects will last. But at least the ministry people, the director are doing their work. I'm happy about that. I've been to part of North Central, very dissatisfied with the quality of work, very dissatisfied with the supervision offered by the Ministry of Works. Then I went to Kaduna and I disagreed with the design of Abuja, Kaduna, Zaria, Kano Road. I disagree with the design. It's an overkill, but I'm doing nothing about it. All I said is I want to do from kilometer 0 to 38 with concrete because it's on a groundwater level base. And so I want to see if I can do that. If the contractor encourages me, it will happen. If they don't encourage me, they are very mighty people. Maybe they may have their way. But I must always have my say to say these projects, give it 3-4 years, they will fail. It's just for me to have my say. A lot of you are mighty people that will always have their ways, but it won't stop me from having my say. That there is no project being constructed right now in Nigeria that is going to last for 7 years. There's no. And the question is, are we just going to be maintaining or reconstructing our roads after even 10 years? Is that what this country is going to be doing? And that is actually what we have been doing. Between Abuja to Benin, through Lokoja, all the stretch of the roads are on contract, ongoing. Beautiful policy of the last administration. But how much of the roads are motorable? I traveled through that by myself and I shedded tears for the kind of pains our people are passing through. I stayed there for 14 hours. 14 hours. I started 10 a.m. I got to Benin 2 a.m. the next day. And I was very happy I experienced the pains. President Bola Tinubu said I must travel through all the projects so that when I brief him, I will tell him the truth. And that is exactly what I am doing. He has seen some of the failed projects and he is feeling so.
Ẹ máa gbọ́ nǹkan tó ọmọkùnrin yìí sọ. Kẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ ìtú tí Tinubu ń pa lábẹ́lẹ̀. Bó ṣe instruct gbogbo àwọn ministers ẹ̀ rèé o. Ẹ gbọ́ instruction tó fún minister yìí. Ṣé rí gbogbo àwa tí ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe sùúrù fún máa yìí. Wallahi Tinubu is going to perform wonders in Nigeria. Ẹ rí pé mo sọ. Ẹ bú mi dáadáa mi ò kí ẹ hun. But I am telling you that at the end of the day, we are all going to laugh. Not smile. We are going to laugh. Ẹ máa gbọ́ nǹkan tó sọ pé tí mínísítà yẹn sọ wípé Tinubu instruct òun ó ló sọ fún òun pé kóun rìn lórí ilẹ̀ plane ni gbogbo wọn ń fò tẹ́lẹ̀ èyí tí wọ́n ṣe mọ̀ pé yà ń jẹ wá èyí tó ṣe mọ̀ pọ̀ náà ò dáa nìyẹn Nàìjíríà bẹ́ẹ̀ Tinubu ìdè ń sìn ó sọ fún minister of works pé ilẹ̀ ni mo fẹ́ kó o ti rìn nínú lórí ilẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn federal roads rí gbogbo ẹ̀ káàkiri di ó Nàìjíríà gbé mọ́tò kó rìn lórí ilé ẹ̀dẹ́ gbọ́dọ̀ fún sàárín débi pé wọ́n á kó lójú ọ̀nà fún yín ó dọ̀pù yẹn mo fẹ́ kí wọ́n náà rìn kó o lè rí kí ni tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ìyàwó làwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ń jẹ kó o sọ fún mi mo fẹ́ gbọ́ mínísítà yẹn wá ní òun rìn láti Àbújá lọ sí Benin òun bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti àárọ̀ òun débẹ̀ lóru ọjọ́ kejì 2 a.m. òun fojú ara òun rí olóhùn sunkún pé àṣeyàtọ̀ ọmọ ìlú ń jẹrè pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì tó ní kí mínísítà ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ kí lẹ rò pé wà lórí ẹ̀mí pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì yẹn ó sì ń sọ lọ ní o ẹ máa gbọ́ o ẹ máa gbọ́rọ̀ yẹn tán and this is the reason why tí inú mi fi dùn wípé we have people like Tinubu as our president tó bá yá ẹ̀gbọ́n tí NEPA náà máa ló wá ṣe fóun minister for power àti ẹ̀ ti gbé yẹ̀ wá àti ẹ̀ ti ló ti yẹn rí gbogbo wọn ni wọ́n gba special instruction Nigeria is no more business as usual tọkàn máa fi minister kan jẹ tó kàn máa kówó jẹ ṣé ẹ ti gbọ́ tuntun minister of internal affairs ṣé ẹ ti gbọ́ gbogbo àwọn international passport tó pile jọ ṣé ẹ ti gbọ́ iye tí wọ́n ti fi sílẹ̀ tó ti release rẹpẹtẹ gbogbo international passport máa yẹn bá ó ní ọ̀sẹ̀ kan péré lòun máa fi sọ pé kí wọ́n type passport yẹn kó produce everybody lọ máa gbà 100 kìíní kan thousand ti gbà wọ́n tún wá ń ṣe announcement nsìn wípé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ní international passport immigration ẹ lọ gbà ó lọ́tún ṣe é sì fúnra wọn náà tún pariwo pé kán lọ gbà instruction ti Tinubu fún minister of internal affairs a máa play video yẹn náà ẹ̀ rí ẹ gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu máa yẹn náà so Nigeria is no more business as usual me I know the Tinubu I am vying for mo mọ̀ pé it's going to work ẹ ṣáàjẹ́ ká ṣe sùúrù kájọ máa wò ẹ wá padà rí létà pé àbàbà gbàgede ó sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ I know what I am saying eléyìí làwọn kabas rí ni wọ́n fi fẹ́ kí Tinubu rule wọ́n mẹ́ni tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo bí táwọn ti rí jẹjẹ ló máa block now that is president èyí tó wá kó dọ́wọ́ òun látijọ́ yìí ó ti dọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ wọ́n mọ̀ pé ó máa ṣiṣẹ́ náà ṣe ń mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ gbin ọ̀tá ẹ̀ sí gbogbo wa nínú listen to that man and listen carefully ẹ gbọ́ instruction tí máa yẹn ní Tinubu fún òun máa bá fídíò yẹn lọ.
All the stretch of the roads are on contract, ongoing. Beautiful policy of the last administration. But how much of the roads are motorable? I traveled through that by myself and I shedded tears for the kind of pains our people are passing through. I stayed there for 14 hours. 14 hours. I started 10 a.m. I got to Benin 2 a.m. the next day. And I was very happy I experienced the pains. President Bola Tinubu said I must travel through all the projects so that when I brief him, I will tell him the truth. And that is exactly what I am doing. He has seen some of the failed projects and he is feeling so sad. President wants to give smiles, a renewed hope to Nigerians. He's very determined to do it. He's a divine president. God is on his side. Those who think that distracting him are wasting their time. And it is high time Nigerians should recognize somebody God sent to help them. This is one president that if we fail to support him, he becomes the last hope for this country. I've seen him, his antecedents, I've watched him, I've seen his commitment. No minister puts up the number of hours Mr. President puts on every day. I know it's a very difficult thing to, change our habit.
No minister don't know hours till Mr. President in law. I am calling on Nigerians. Ohun tó ń sọ tẹ́ ń gbọ́ nìyẹn o pé mo ń pé gbogbo ọmọ Nigeria that you are very lucky to have this man as president. The accident had happened and we must acknowledge him as a president. Àwọn normal instruction táwọn gbọ́ lọ́wọ́ president. Ẹ wo synergy tí wọ́n fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ Chelsea. We might not feel the efficacy now. We might not see what they are doing now. Normally process ni wọ́n wà kò tí ì dodindi. Let them start it and let us see the end. Ẹ máa rí pé we are going to see wonders that government is going to perform. Ẹ máa gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu máyì lọ mo ń bọ̀.
I've seen him, his antecedents, I've watched him, I've seen his commitment. No minister puts up the number of hours Mr. President puts on every day. I know it's a very difficult thing to, change our habits. But the funny thing is that the Nigerian people, they do not call the Ministry of Works. They do not call the civil servants. They do not call the contractors. They call the governors. They call the ministers. They call the president. If president gives out a contract and pays money and asks the ministry to supervise and they fail to do that, if the projects are jacked up beyond the funding capacity of the federal government, whom are we going to blame? I watched today the TCU's chairman and the channel, and they alluded, the fact that I said I'm not happy with the supervision of our works by the Minister of Work Staffs. And he said it's the government. If a civil servant is on the way of the progress of government, he should be shown the way out. And of course, it's my policy. It's my policy. And I will plead with the press to report exactly what I'm saying. Because in Lagos, we were discussing about, Abuja to Lagos Superhighway. And we are at the concessioning level. What I saw is that, Advanced Engineering Company has been awarded the contract. What kind of, press is that? The same thing with the Lagos Port Harcourt Calabar Superhighway, that we are just at the third meeting. And you say it's been awarded to, high-tech engineering. This is not doing good to our country. The press is not being fair to our country. Because you have to report exactly what it is. There's so much havoc being done to this country by social media. False information. Sensational, reportage. God forbid if the country collapses, everybody will be involved. So the press man pulling the strings somewhere so that the country will go down and the pulling, this one is pulling. It is not helping our country. Look at US. It is their country first. In our contracts, we have provision to maintain the roads. Why would the civil servants, the leaders of Ministry of Works, not compel the contractors to maintain the roads? People are suffering. I had to go through the many communities to be able to reach Benin. Our expatriate contractors, this cannot happen in any of your countries. It cannot. Anywhere there is maintenance of job or road is going on, the first thing that is done is the confidence of the people. We are being taken for a ride. We are being taken for granted. You believe you are doing us favor. You are not doing us favor. This is business. And this attitude must stop. Whether you like me, you hate me, it's not my business. The attitude must stop. We must be respected. We must be respected.
For the first time. For the first time. Tí màá gbọ́ tí minister kan máa sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí. That I don't give a damn to any contractor, you are not doing us any good. We are giving you money, you are doing our business for us. It is business only. Maybe you hate me or you like me, I don't want to know. All I want is do our business that we give to you, do it perfectly. A minister saying that in Nigeria. Níbi tó máa retí cashback. Àbẹ́rẹ́ rántí ní ṣọwọ́ kúdúrú. But àìlè ní rárá. Torí wọ́n mẹ́tọ́ ń bá deal. Wọ́n mẹ́tọ́ rà wọ́n níṣẹ́. Look at Lagos now. Lagos ṣé àṣẹ inú ẹ̀fẹ̀ nu ara yín sọ. Ṣé Lagos ò develop? Bitter truth táwọn èèyàn kì í fẹ́ gbọ́ nìyẹn. It is not Jagaba that build Lagos. Who build it? Are you the one? Má bá ṣe yẹn lọ́jọ́.
This cannot happen in any of your countries. It cannot. Anywhere there is maintenance of job or road is going on, the first thing that is done is the confidence of the people. We have been taken for a ride. We have been taken for granted. You believe you are doing us favor. You are not doing us favor. This is business. And this attitude must stop. Whether you like me, you hate me, it's not my business. The attitude must stop. We must be respected. We must be respected. I've directed that if you're a project manager on any of our contracts, whether you're expatriate or you're a Nigerian or Togolese or African, you must be registered with Orire and not less than 15 years experience on road construction. And I'm warning the directors, regional directors, not to fail to carry out this instruction. In every project during bidding, the contractor will submit the list of equipment he has. He will submit his financial status. He will submit the list of jobs done before. He will submit the technical, bid on the qualification of his personnel. Ladies and gentlemen, go and find out. If you did the bid, and check what is on site. Find out whether you can get 10% of that. Find out. And so whom are we to blame? The directors and civil servants. How many contractors are using sheep foot loaders to do the compaction and subgrade? How many equipment are on site of these contractors? One contractor has 27 projects. How will he do it? How will he do it and do it well? I'm not against anybody, but the present cost of the project, you are hiding under VOP with the ministry, and you believe that anybody is a fool. Nobody is a fool. There's no job that has a funding right now because you are hiding under VOP. You don't want to expose the real cost of the project now. And when you expose it, there is nobody even with the initial unit rate of asphalt plus the VOP that is going to continue with that present situation. Nobody. There's nobody. That is the reality. If the BPP says, you cannot increase your contract, he's telling lies. You can't tie a man hands and legs and ask him to run. If the NLPC say the contract is fixed, that nobody, it's a lie. That is not the truth. You have to give what belongs to the contractors to them. And then you now tax them to abide by the tenets of the project, of the contract, of the agreement, of the general specification of contract and general conditions of contract. Documents will be sent to BPP for no objection. It will stay for 6 months. How will the contractors go to do additional job you directed them to do without a backup authorization? And I've asked the BPP, you set up in each MDA, your own department. Why will that department vet what the main MDA has done and send to you and you sit on it for 6 months? Unless Mr. President does something about the bureaucracy, his lofty intention to help this country may not totally be achieved. Engineering requires attention. If a contractor writes for certain, advice or seeks certain permission, he must have it within 24 hours. He has equipment on site. He has personnel he's paying for. But we keep their files. But we forgot something. Whatever till a man sow it, he will reap. We are minister, we are directors. It is.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ padà. Láti fi yé wa pé a ṣìyàn. Láti fi yé wa pé we are on the right track. yes, process yẹn lè pẹ́, but this man said the project he wants to do for us in Nigeria is doing it in a long-term enjoyment, not palliative. Palliative ni ṣé yàrá yìí ló ń jẹ yín ó yà já sáré fast solution sí, wọ́n find solution sí tán láàrin ìṣẹ́jú méjì. Ẹ torí ń fọ́ tó lo paracetamol, torí yẹn bá lọ sí òṣè ń padà bọ̀. Ẹ lè fi wẹ́n tó mọ̀ tó treat kí ni tó kọ̀ sórí fífọ́ yẹn gangan. Ó take long process, ó lògùn, ó jẹun, ó wẹ̀, ó lògùn yẹn tán, ó wá sùn, ara ẹ̀ wá wálẹ̀, ó ti wá dìde. Bọ̀tẹ́ torí ń fọ́ tó sáré lo paracetamol, orí yẹn á lọlẹ̀, àmọ́ lẹ́yìn ìṣẹ́jú márùn-ún á padà. Ṣé ká lo paracetamol lẹ́fẹ́? We were tell criticize. We have to be very patient and we have to do it. Bàbá yẹn instruct gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n fún ní ministerial post. Mo sọ nípa ẹni tó jẹ́ internal affairs, the same thing náà ni ó fún instruction of internal affairs láyé ìgbà kan. Àwọn báyọ̀bọ̀ làwọn aráàlú òyìnbó ń pè mí sí yẹn. Wọ́n tún sọ fáráàlú òyìnbó pé very soon you are doing your passport, you are renewing your passport online. The man said it. Ó lè máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní renew passport. Ó ní pé àìmọye àwọn tó foreigners tó fẹ́ gba passport tóun rí lóríṣiríṣi pé why rubbish ni now. Yes, instruction tí Tinubu fún wọn nìyẹn. Bàbá Tinubu bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ yìí, my own advice is that please don't relax. People are watching and people are waiting for miracle to happen. Àṣà Sẹ́nìdíọ̀n ó ní I've been waiting for so long for the miracles to come. Ó ní gbogbo èèyàn, everyone told me to be patient, but I believe that miracle shall come. When there is darkness, there must be light. When there is rain, there must be sunshine. It is after rains that comes the sunshine. Òjò yẹn ti rọ̀ sórí Nàìjíríà jù, a fẹ́ sunshine sí. Ìyà jẹ ọmọ Nàìjíríà, no doubt. Nigerians are suffering, no doubt. We want you to be palliative for us. We want you to use your clean handkerchief to clean our tears. Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ bá máa ṣe táyé máa fi rọrùn fọmọ Nàìjíríà òun la fẹ́ kẹ́ ṣe, so that pé àwọn èèyàn ò ní sí nínú abject poverty ńgbà tẹ́ bá máa tún kó lọ́dún mẹ́jọ, so that pé àwọn èèyàn arántí yín bá ṣe rántí Awólọ́wọ̀ lẹ́nìí nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tá à ń celebrate ẹ̀, so that your name will surely be written in gold in the heart of Nigerians, so that when the history of Nigerians is being told anywhere, people will stand up for your name as a great man that changed the fortune of this country, that influenced people tí wọ́n jápa kí wọ́n já wọlé padà. Nigerians are sovereign and they are waiting for the miracle from you to happen very soon. Irú àwa tá wá sọ̀rọ̀ in your favour ní dojú tí wà ń gbà yẹn, we will be able to raise up our head and say sọ fún yín kó máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀. It is then lè fún wa lẹ́nu ọ̀rọ̀. À ń rí lára àwọn ministers wípé they all got special instruction. Ṣé ti kí lorúkọ minister for Abuja Federal Capital Territory, ṣé tí yẹn ṣe ní ká sọ? Ìyẹn sọ Wike, òun tí ẹ̀ sàn lórí tiẹ̀, ó ń Wike gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ ní. It doesn't give a damn. Ìtìdé Fùmáyì náà tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ rèé. The man said they are going to use concrete roads. Kò sí pé akàn ọ̀gbẹ́lẹ̀ adayẹ̀pẹ̀ sí àwádà ọ̀dàbò yẹn ò sí mọ́. Àwọn fẹ́ hun irin kí wọ́n kan kéré gbogbo ọ̀nà tá a máa lò. Ó ní pé kò dáa tó kọ́ ẹ ṣe ọ̀nà kó jẹ́ lẹ́yìn 10 years ọ̀nà yẹn á máa wú. Ó ní ọ̀nà tó máa last ní Tinubu ní káwọn ṣe. Ọlọ́run á fúnjọba yín ṣe sà. Irú ẹ̀ náà Bọ́dé ṣe sẹ́pẹ̀ tí wọ́n ṣe lọ sọ́nà Àjà. Mo débẹ̀ mo wo títì yẹn pé what? Títì yẹn bá jiná tán, kódà àwọn èèyàn máa fẹ́ bẹ́rí pé ò bọ̀ eléyìí ọ̀nà ni first of his kind ẹ bá wa ṣe kó dáa. màá fi wálẹ̀ pẹ̀lú nǹkan tí mínísítà internal affairs àwọn wonders tí máa yẹn náà perform àti dáadáa tó wà nínú ìjọba yìí ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi wálẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ láyọ̀.
Honorable Olubunmi Tunji Ojo is our guest. You remember, a few weeks ago on this program, he made a promise. Let me remind you of what he said.
Instruction that I've given to the Immigration Service. I do not see anything in the short term. I don't think clearing out backlogs, it shouldn't take more than 2 weeks. By the grace of God, we give them all the assurance of His Excellency the President that we will unbottle all bottlenecks. That's number one. And number two, we will unbottle these bottlenecks without jeopardizing or sacrificing national security. You can be rest assured of that. We're coming up with our work plan, and we're going to come up with KPIs, key performance indicators, and we're going to have our timelines, and we're going to carry the civil society and, of course, the media along. We want Nigerians to be able to judge us. Nigerians should be able to mark our scorecard. We should be able to give us a scorecard after every quarter. This is what we aim to achieve under the leadership of the president.
All right, then, Honorable Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, the Honorable Minister for Interior, is live with us on the program. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having
So
me.
you made that promise. You said it should not take you more than 2 weeks. That was a promise you made right there on that same chair. Have you done that?
Well, good evening, Nigerians. Let me, first of all, thank God Almighty for the opportunity and the privilege of life. We made a promise, and that was going to take us 2 weeks. But let me start by apologizing to Nigerians that it took 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks. We had a backlog of about 204,332. That's the number of people that had enrolled without their passports being printed. But 3 weeks after, that was on the 7th of September, we made a promise, the 6th or 7th of September. But by the 1st of October, we had cleared all the 204,332. As I speak to you, there is no backlog that has not been printed. What we are on now is advocacy for collection, for people to go and pick up their passports. And of course, yesterday, I gave a marching order to the Immigration Service to send messages, even follow up with calls to Nigerians, and also do press releases to tell Nigerians to go to the passport offices and collect their passports. So far as of today, the number of backlog already cleared, as I said, is 204,332. The number of passports that have been collected is 94,981. The ones that have not yet been collected, but they are ready for collection at various passport offices, is about 109,351. So that's the number. So as we speak to you, any Nigerian should be able to go to the passport offices where they enrolled and pick up their passport.
Congratulations, I must say, because perhaps for the first time in a long time in Nigeria, we have public officers who say we will do this, and they have done it. And I must say congratulations to you, albeit you apologize that it took 3 weeks rather than the 2 weeks, which a lot of people thought that it can never happen. It could have, maybe it was going to be difficult for you to make that happen. But now, give us an understanding of what you are doing, because there are those who have complained also that the collection is also very tedious. And they have to use touts, those who are on the outside of the passport collection centers to get their passport collected, paying extra and more money than they naturally should pay in getting their passports.
Okay, thank you, Sheon. Let me say this very clearly. I have to appreciate the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has given us all the support needed to solve this problem. He has actually given us all the support, and he's been on our neck to say, hey, I appointed you to bring results, not to bring excuses. So a lot of these achievement would have been impossible without the support that we got from him. I want to respond to what you've said. It's a systemic issue. On this issue of passport, I addressed a press conference earlier today, and I said it very clearly. Nigerians should please do not give money to anybody. Initially, they had issues with the activation of the passport, process, which, of course, touts and people try to take advantage of that. But as of today, I can tell you that that's fully sorted today. So there's no need to give money to any tout.
So if you walk into the passport office,
yes,
give and take, in 30 minutes, you should be able to go in and out and collect your passport.
No, you should get your passport after sorting. Of course, there are so many passports. For instance, Ikeja had Alausa had over 37,900 passports.
Printed already. Uncollected.
No, that was the backlog.
From the 204,000.
Exactly.
So out of from the 204,000.
Yes, they had 37. Ikeja had 37,900 plus. Today, 9,000 plus being collected. So we still have about 28,000 that has not been collected. Imagine 20,000 people going to the passport office at the same time. It might be a bit chaotic and stuff like that. And that is why part of the reforms, that leads me to part of the reforms we're bringing into passport administration. For me personally, and I have to say this to the service providers, I said it today, I said it yesterday, and I've always told them, you need to make life easy for people. We cannot as a government, we cannot as a service make things more difficult than they ought to be. And part of the reforms that we're putting in place now, starting from December, is that even when you want to enroll for your passport, you fill your forms online, you do your payment online and everything. You do not need to go to passport office to have your picture captured. No. People apply for American visa. People apply for UK visa. People apply all over the world. And your passports with required specification as directed by NIS will be uploaded on the platform. So you upload your passports online, you upload your supporting documents online. So when you go to immigration office, you spend just like 5 minutes just to have your biometric caption. That's all. So the era of people sacrificing a whole day just because they want to go to a passport office for enrollment is over. It is unacceptable. As I said, you cannot inconvenience people based on their rights. It is the right of people to have a seamless experience. Is it the right of people to have a sweet experience? Is it the right of people to have a renewed hope experience, an experience that is laden with renewed hope, such that you go there, you capture just your fingerprint, your biometric, and it is done. What that does for us is that today, an average passport office captures just like 400 people a day. Because by the time immigration will look at, the officials will look at your document, you bring the hard copy, they will still take your passport picture and all. But if we automate all this process and all we do is just the biometric, which of course we need to do, because as much as we must not also sacrifice competence on the altar of speed, we must not sacrifice the integrity of the process. We need to be sure that the person that is coming for the passport is who he says he is by virtue of biometric features. So we will continue to get that, enroll them biometric in terms of the biometric features. But once that is done, you just go there, you take your biometric feature, you go. So hold on, Shehu. After that, to me, I see no reason why people should go back to immigration office to go and be queuing to collect their passport. There should be what we call a value-added service. It's a value-added service. It's there when you go to, when you apply for visas. It is there even in Europe. It's there in America. Nobody goes to immigration office in America. Nobody goes to immigration office in the UK. So once you apply and you pay, you should be able to have the option. So do you want home delivery or delivery to your office?
That's the point I was going to ask you, Honorable Minister. NIPOST is almost is almost non-existent in the minds of many Nigerians. And even the United States, as large and as big as that country is, they make use of the postal services. Yeah. And I'm wondering the place of these in delivering this sort of service to Nigerians. I mean, if this kind of, for example, even in the banks in the United States, they will put your ATM cards in the mail for you and it get delivered to you and you will get it. So Are you thinking of this kind of service?
That's exactly
to the point that it will not be so expensive to Nigeria, because you can't say that you will not pay. You will pay for the postal service because it comes to your doorstep. But then, in what way and what modality is that going to take?
Number one, let me tell you this. I've thought through this with my team, and we have said, I keep saying this, the essence of us being in government is to provide what we call a sweet experience, the renewed hope experience. That I know, I'm passionate about this because I know how passionate the President, His Excellency, is about it. And what we want to do is, the only time you go to immigration office is when you go and capture your biometrics. We should not take you more than 5-10 minutes because you should be on appointment. And there should be a queue management system in place at those passport offices. These are not things that we will not do. When we promised that this government we will get the 204,000 passports off, backlog off in 2 weeks, people thought, oh, it's not going to be possible. But they've forgotten. This is a Bola Ahmed Tinubu government, a government that is focused on performance. So for this, I can assure you the price, because we are working through it, and we're trying to do all the processes between now and December, so that by January there is